back up to the mountains. This is a place I haven't ever camped before, so this is pretty cool. This is really cool. We're just driving up here, just pulling in here, and I look out in the meadow. I tried to get it on my phone, so hopefully it'll show up. I try to show that on the video. But anyway, there's a moose out here in the water, walking out through all that, and pretty cool. And then he kind of, I think, could tell I was here, so he started kind of going a little quicker. You can see him splash in the water. A couple times he almost about disappeared. I think he went into deeper water. But pretty cool. But anyway, we're back here. This is an area that when I was growing up, well, I was a teenager, probably high schoolish, and into my early 20s. I had some cousins that used to come up further down on this, that would come up every week and camp up here. And so I'd camp up here a few times with them, not for the week, but just on some other camp trips. But they closed. I think after they had a fire go through here, I think it was in '94, they closed. They cut out a bunch of the roads, so you couldn't even get back into where they were going. But they've got a few places along the way here, and I've kind of been through here a few years ago looking and decided I want to come try it out, see what it's like. But this is pretty cool. So anyway, we'll get camp set up here, and it should be a good weekend. Give me a jacket. It's kind of chilly up here. Alright guys, put this on so I can keep track of where you're at, so I don't lose you. You know the drill, huh? Good boy. This right here. Yeah, so I got like, it's a training collar, but it's got GPS on it, and so sometimes I'm up like this, especially in a new area like this where he might try to go explore a little more, and just me and him, if I'm doing stuff, and I try not to lose track of him, but it's got GPS so I can kind of see the direction he's at and about how far, and it's got a button on there I can hit, and if I hit that, he comes right back to me, so don't want to lose him. So we got his collar on, and I'll finish setting up camp. So I'm standing on my step outside the camper, and I put the awning up so I'm not getting rained on, but it's raining pretty good right now. We've had a couple little sprinkles come through, not too bad, but I could tell this cloud was darker. You look out that direction, but it's definitely raining. I don't know how long it'll last, but I don't know if you can see out on the water, kind of splashing out there. I like rainstorms, especially in the mountains. Pretty cool. Yeah, so I just finished up. I hadn't eaten anything since breakfast, or I didn't even eat breakfast. I hadn't eaten anything since all day. So I got up here and cooked me a couple hot dogs on the Traeger, and then Mom stopped by my house. Both my parents stopped by when I was gone. My son was there and gave us some macaroni salad. She make a big batch, and then I can't eat all this, and so she shares stuff with me, so it's kind of nice. It's really good. She's a good cook. I think we're gonna hang out here in the camper for a minute. Let this calm down or quit raining. Well, looks like it's kind of quit raining a little bit. It rained pretty good for a little bit, and then it kind of was off and on, just sprinkling a little bit here and there. But it's actually, the sun's coming up now, clearing up. So anyway, now that's cleared up, I think we'll flip this thing around and you can kind of see what it's like right here at this camp spot. And then I'll walk out to the meadow and check that out a little bit. Check out a couple of little things right here. So let's flip this around. So this is the little road that came in. I guess you'd call it a road, but it comes in off of a small dirt road. It's just a little single lane dirt road. Comes in off the main highway. It drove down this quite a ways, or the smaller dirt road. Stay here, Gus. And there's a campground before this. Somebody was there. There was one before that, but it was still pretty wet and snow back in there. And it'd be a bog. Who knows? I don't know. If I didn't get stuck, it'd just be a mess. I didn't want to be there. But this actually turned out really good. So he just came in here and have a nice little, there's actually a camp spot over back over that way, back in the trees, but I like this spot right here. You got a fire pit right there. I'm actually gonna cook my food on that tonight. So once it gets a little further in the evening, I'll get the fire going and get going on that. But no, it's pretty cool. And as I was pulling in here, right out here out there in the meadow, there's pretty deep water spots. There was a moose out there walking along, and you couldn't miss it. It was a moose. And then all of a sudden he disappeared, and I was like, where'd he go? And then I see him climbing back out of the water. So evidently he's pretty deep in a couple spots out there. He's probably in the actual creek. But that was cool. You don't see those very often. That's the second one I've seen this year. I saw one a couple months ago when I was coming back from camping. It ran out into the road in front of me. I saw it coming, and luckily I wasn't going very fast because they had signs saying that there's going to be you have to stop ahead. And I seen it coming, and I slammed on the brakes, and it kind of came right out on the road in front of me, and then it spun around and went back up the hill. But this is pretty cool. I mean, you got the mountains in the back, still a little bit of snow on there. I mean, this is really cool. And then we're tucked back in here in the trees a little bit. Man, it's a beautiful day. It's kind of fun to have that rain. It rained pretty good for, not a long time, but for a little while. But everything's kind of wet now. Come here, Gus. But yeah, this is our little camp spot. Got the camper mostly leveled out. It's a little slope backwards, so I threw some, I got some of those stackable plates or whatever you call them. I can put underneath the tires, but got our fire pit right here. I don't think it's been used this year yet. Anyway, and then you can kind of see a little bit of a meadow out here. A lot of the meadow still got quite a bit of water on it. Last weekend I was up beyond here, and when I was coming back headed home, you could see down in here in this whole area just like it was completely underwater. So it's come down some, but there's still a lot of water out there. It just looked like a lake, and I've seen that other years. But yeah, that's pretty cool right there, kind of right there. And then check this out. Somebody built a little fort down in here. I'm guessing that's what it is anyway. It's been here a while. It's kind of deteriorating. Anyway, kind of crazy. Maybe they're hunting. A lot of times you'll put things like that up there so they can hang their meat when they get something. But yeah, campers right there. This is pretty cool. Let's take a walk over here. Check this out. This is pretty cool. Man, sun's come out. It's really nice now. Look like they build a little fence deal, probably because they don't want you going beyond that. Kind of loops kind of around, but it's kind of falling apart. I know it's next right over on the other side of those trees. On the other side of those trees, it looks like there's another camp spot over there. But this is really cool. This burnt. I think it was in '94. It burnt back. A lot of this burnt. There's some of it that didn't, because you can see some of the older growth, but there's a lot of this that burnt, and it's all coming back really well now. It's getting now from the main highway. You can't see down in here very good. Before you could see it all. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Yeah, I've got some snow up there. Got water running down through here. But yeah, check this out. And then you got grass back up on this upper end. I think there's a campground there. It looks like there's probably some more down there, down that way. I might walk down the main road or across here and just kind of check that out here in a bit. So anyway, it's kind of what it looks like. Kind of swing back here, and we got camp sitting back there in the trees. And I don't know what this thing is. Somebody left it out here. I'm not really sure what it is. Almost like maybe an old stove of some sort. It's like a chimney coming out there. I don't know. Maybe it's an old smoker or stove or something. I don't know. But anyway, this is it. Oh, up there, you can see lots of snow up on the mountains up on top there. So, pretty awesome. It's gonna be a good weekend. So I decided to walk down this. This is the dirt road that came in off the main highway. We're camped just down there, barely a little ways, just down there a little ways on the right. But anyway, just walking up the road, and they got another camp spot here, it looks like. So we're gonna check it out and see if it's better than the one we're in. I think I might have to come back here this summer. Come here, guys. And camp here. They got that creek over there. My son's been wanting to do a little more fly fishing and fishing. It's not a big creek, but my cousin used to fly fish that. He can catch big stuff, but he caught fish. We'll just have to come out here and hang out, and he can go out and fish and do whatever he wants. But yeah, I think I like the one we're in better than this one, but this is still nice. This is really nice. This one's a little more open where you camp, which is fine. Yeah, you got a fire pit right there. But I don't know, pretty cool. Sure beautiful though. Everything's so green and nice right now. I'm sure that'll change as summer goes on. Anyway, alright, let's go check the next one out, if there is next one. Yeah, so I didn't know they had an outhouse in here when I was coming back in here. Of course, that was in the 80s, late 80s, mid to late 80s, maybe even early 90s. There was nothing like that in here. In fact, a lot of these camp spots probably weren't even here. There were just a couple things, and it was further down, which is all blocked off now, and they kind of made some camp spots along here. But yeah, they even have an outhouse now. You know, it's kind of funny. I watch a couple other YouTube videos. One of them is Kenny of All Trades. I started watching his after I bought my truck camper, and he shows around the areas that he's camped out, and they usually all have outhouses, and he'll go in and show you the outhouse. And one of the last videos I seen, he's like, yeah, people tell me I don't need to show all the outhouses. He says, oh, maybe I won't, or maybe I will, and he shows it anyway. I thought that was hilarious. That was funny. Anyway, let's go. Looks like there's another road down here. Let's go check it out. So here's the next road that goes back in, and from what I can tell, I like this one. This is a really good one. Hey guys, come on. Yeah, I like this. Let's go in here and check this out. Looks like there's a little camp spot over there with a fire pit. And then, I don't know, this is right here. I kind of like this one right here. Yeah, I kind of like this one right here. I mean, you kind of pan here. You got these trees right here. Got the meadow out behind there. This is just beautiful. This is the one I like. Yeah, so I like this spot. I like the spot. This isn't the spot I'm in. I kind of like pretty close to the same. But I like this. It's pretty flat right here. And you park camper right here, and then have your fire pit right there. But I like this. This is nice. I have a feeling in the summertime, I mean, this is just getting to where people are being able to get in here. But I have a feeling this place probably gets pretty packed. But I'd like to come back in a few weeks and camp here again, whether it be in the same spot or, honestly, if I come back again, I'd like to hit a different spot. I wouldn't mind going right here if it's not taken. But I don't know. This is cool. But yeah, check this out. Yeah, that's in a few weeks. I bet in a couple weeks or so, all that water that's everywhere, it'll all be gone and it'll be just a meadow, and there'll be a creek that's running out through there. I've seen it when it's later in the year when it's like that. So, pretty cool. Anyway, I might walk down a little further and see if there's anything else. Kind of think we might be getting to the end of it, but I think I'm gonna go check it out. So this is the end of the road. When I came in here a couple, 2-3 years ago, I remember it dead ended. See, this is where the road used to keep going and eventually go down to where we used to camp, but now it's closed. It's just a trail. And I need to get back and get the fire going so I can get some coals so I can cook dinner. And I think it's getting close to 5 o'clock. So I'm gonna save this. If I can make it back here this summer, I might save this and take a walk down there and see if I can find the old spot area where we used to camp. But anyway, so I'm gonna head back, and I will see you back at camp. And Gus is on his way out of here. Come on, Gus. All right, see you back at camp. Let's see if we can get this going. Without a bunch of stuff. Or kindling, or whatever you want to call it. So I've been using these, I talked about it before, these little things that are pretty flammable and they burn for a while, and they've been working really good, so we'll see. Well, I think we're in business. Those little things work really good. I've always used lighter fluid before, and that works, but you spray it on there and it burns up pretty quick. Where this sits there and burns for a fair amount of time, by the time in fact I think it's still burning, it just ignites the whole thing really well. So I think this is my new way of starting a fire. Still cheating, but it gets the job done. That's all I care about. If I have to do something other than I can, but this just makes it easy. I actually saw one of the other YouTube channels using these, and I'm like, I'm gonna try that, and it actually works really well. Might even try it at home on the fireplace this next winter. Well, we'll let this burn down, and we'll be able to cook dinner. It is a beautiful day. A little rainy there for a while, but it's sunny now. There's partially clouds, but I don't see anything right now that looks like it will rain. It's just white puffy clouds. I was a little concerned earlier because if it's raining like it was, I'm like, I don't want to sit around the campfire where it's pouring that hard. But it cleared up, so we're good. And it was still kind of fun having that rain for a little bit. I kind of like thunderstorms. Actually, it really wasn't a thunderstorm. It was just pretty good rain showers. Hey guys, getting in the sun. Well, I think we got some coals going pretty good. We'll let this start warming that up and go get it in and get the steak ready. That's what we're having, ribeye. So let that start to warm up. Then we get the steak ready, and then we're gonna have some asparagus with it, and I'm gonna throw some tomatoes in there and fry them up. So I'll go ahead in there and get that done. Well, I get the steak all seasoned up, ready to go. Have some ribeye. All right, let's get this going. Get this all seasoned up. You want to come in, Gus? Come on. Let's go. Come on. You're getting pretty good at that, even as tall as it is. All right, you can have some scraps after a while. You have some parts of it. All right. Let's throw this away. Yeah, Guzzy. And grab some seasoning. All right, watch out. All right. I kind of like pepper. Try to keep it from going in the stove. Down inside there's have to clean that. I'll throw a little salt, more salt on this side. That makes it stick better. All right, steak is ready. Well, that's starting to, I think, starting to cook pretty good. It's once I get it to a point, then I'm going to throw the asparagus and the tomatoes in. I don't want to throw them in too early, or it'll probably it'll overcook them, burn them, whatever. But just kind of wait for this to get going, and then we'll throw the rest of it on. Finish cooking it all. This is fun, cooking over the fire. I've kind of actually been looking forward to it. So, no, it's a beautiful day. I wasn't sure what it was going to be like coming into here. I was pretty sure we were going to be okay, but I didn't know if it'd be pretty marshy or wet. But it's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty dry. I mean, it's damp, but it's not, which makes it so it's not dusty, but it's not muddy. It's funny, when I was coming back from my walk, just up the road barely, I was coming along, and I think it was Forest Service enforcement officer pulled out of here, pulled up to talk to me. She's like, "Is that your Arctic fox?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Okay." But anyway, she's checking she said she's just coming in to see how wet everything is. And she's actually kind of surprised where you're at and where the other people are. They're actually pretty dry. So, and then she went on down checking other stuff. I kind of like this kind of camping. It's fun taking the Jeeps and stuff out, but sometimes it's just nice. Actually, I'm getting more and more right. It's just nice to come up with the truck camper and then just kind of hang out and cook some good food and just relax and just enjoy being here. And it's such a beautiful spot. I mean, this is perfect for that kind of camping. So I'm gonna have to come back in this area again. It's nice. That is a sharp knife. A couple more of these, 3. All right, that's all ready to go. As soon as that steak gets cooked parsley. We'll throw this other stuff on there with more butter. Well, it looks like I got the steak flipped and it's looking good. Threw a little more butter in there. Let's go throw this stuff on there. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Oh yeah, perfect. Won't be long now. Well, it is done. Steak first. Oh, this looks good. This turned out really good. Perfect. That's good. Here's some of the steak tried. Well, geez, my goodness, guys. That steak was good, huh? Anyway, we all done with dinner now. Gonna let this fire kind of burn. I'm about out of wood. No, it's been fun. So I kind of got something in the works. I like cooking on the Traeger some, but in order to do that, to plug it into the camper, I have to run the generator, and the generator is really loud. So I actually ordered something this last week. I was kind of hoping it'd be here this week, but I really didn't need it that bad because I was planning on cooking on the fire, planning on cooking on the fire anyway. So it should come this next week. So the next time I go camping, I could use it. So anyway, I'll show you that on hopefully the next video. The first time I went and did solo camping, camping by myself, I think it was in 2020, and it felt weird. It was a little weird going by yourself, but I don't know. Over time, it's gotten to where I kind of really like it. And then after buying this truck camper last year, and then being able to get it out a couple times before the end of last year, and then I've had it out a bunch. I think this is I don't know, it might be like the 7th time this year, 6th or 7th time. And I don't know, I like it. I really like the setup. It works great for going out here camping by myself. Super comfortable. You come out here and just kind of hang out, and then cook something good on the fire or on the grill or whatever you might be doing. Kind of relax, sit around the campfire. So no, this little camping's kind of nice. Like I said, first little bit when I was doing it was different. I talked myself out of it a couple times, or probably more than that. But now it's like this last week, I was just looking forward to getting up here. And driving up here this morning, it was just like, oh, I can't wait to get up here, find a good spot, and just hang out. And this is a good spot. I like this. There's a couple good spots, 2 or 3 good spots through this area that I found. But
Anyway, I'm going to sit around the campfire for a little while and probably go climb up in the camper and watch a movie. Just relax. My knee's been kind of bothering me, so I just want to relax and let it kind of rest. I wish I had some ice with me. I need to throw some in my cooler. But so I'm going to climb up in there and just, after a while, and just give it a break. So we'll see you in the morning.
Good morning. I got out of the camper this morning and kind of walked around the back, and then walked around the side and up to the front, and all of a sudden I realized there's a bunch of elk out here. So they didn't really know we were there for a while, or at least they weren't bothered by us, but I was able to get my other camera with a longer lens out, and hopefully it's hard to tell on this little lens when I'm taking the video of it, but hopefully they turned out alright. But I'll show you those. But anyway, it was pretty cool. There's quite a few of them. There were some out here kind of in the center out. There's several of them right there, and then there's one over this way. And I think he's seen me because it wasn't very long, or she, I'm not sure, it was too far away. And then it kind of disappeared, and then there's one over here behind this tree, kind of along the edge, and then it kind of just walked into the bushes. But pretty cool. And then we were kind of down here, and then somebody come walking up there with their little kid. And anyway, so then I kind of moved back. I think they kind of figured out what we're doing, and they started getting out. And they kind of went out across here and then kind of headed that way. And they're pretty much gone. I just saw them finish going that way. Pretty cool. Saw moose yesterday morning, and then, or not yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon when I first got here, and now a whole bunch of elk. So pretty cool. Well, this ended up being an awesome trip. I'm glad we came up. It's just an overnighter, but definitely. It was definitely worth it. We got up here as we come in about 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon, coming into the little lane coming into here, and saw moose out there in the meadows. So that was pretty cool. You don't see those very often. That's the second one I've seen this year. So that was cool. And then last night, it was pretty much dark. Maybe not quite. We were in the camper, and I had the main door open, just the screen door shut. And Gus was laying there by it. All of a sudden he starts growling. I'm like, oh. He does it almost every camp trip because we end up with something around us, and he can tell. So he's growling and wanting to bark a little, and I tell him no. And I'm standing there at that back door with him looking out the screen, and then I see a deer walk out behind the tree. And it was there for a few minutes, and then it left. So then we saw that deer, and then this morning getting up and seeing all the elk out there in the valley, or out in the meadow, was pretty cool. And they stayed there for quite a while, and then I think they kind of finally figured out we were here and there was enough stuff going on that they moved out fairly quickly. But it was an awesome trip. After seeing all the elk, we fixed breakfast. Had some sausage and some eggs, and then sat down and cooked some extra sausage so I could give some to Gus. And just sat down and had our lunch, our breakfast, and then just kind of been working at cleaning some stuff up, kind of getting ready to get out of here. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and we will see you on the next one.